And I think comparing is still good.
Okay.
If you know who you're comparing yourself to, because it keeps you in check and lets you know if you're slacking.
That's interesting. How do I feel about comparing? For me, I don't like comparing. And this is fun. So we're on a podcast and there's no right or wrong. There's just different perspectives, right? And I want to hear your thoughts, and I want you to elaborate as well. For me, I have found that maybe this is just me, right? And I'm not saying this is what you need to do. I have found comparison doesn't motivate me. It doesn't inspire me. If anything, comparison doesn't make me feel as worthy when I know that that's just a BS story that my inner critic is telling myself, right? Like, okay. I believe that God created each and every one of us, you, me, whoever's watching this, special and unique. And that might sound like in the clouds to some people, but I truly believe each one of us were given unique talents and abilities. And I think you got to discover what that is and then tap into those things, multiply those talents. And when you're busy comparing yourself to others, I think it's taking you away from your unique ability. Because what others are accomplishing, to me, that may or may not be their unique ability, but that's them. And you should lift them up and encourage them and help them if possible. But sometimes I catch myself, even to this day, and I've gotten significantly better at it. But I remember years ago, I'd look on social media and it would almost be like a competitive thing, but like not in a good way, not a good competitive, like, well, almost like I don't want to say envy or jealousy, but almost like, well, how can they accomplish that when X, Y, Z, when I know I can, and you know what I mean? It's like I had to completely shift my mind that like, that's them, like, let them do them, but do you. And that comes with having clarity about what you want and why you want it. So for me, I'm not a fan of comparison. I'm a fan of let me tweak that. I'm a fan of comparison if you're comparing yourself to the best version of yourself. Ed Milet talks about Milet talks about one of the things that when he dies and goes to heaven, he wants to meet the best version of himself. And he wants the best version of himself to tell him, great job, you've arrived, or man, there was so much more you could have done. There was so much more you could have accomplished. There was so many more people you could have impacted. And so if you're going to compare yourself to the potential within you, that's one thing. And I'm good with that. I think that's healthy. But if you're going to compare yourself to others, for me, it doesn't work.
I think it's both. I'm just too damn competitive.
That's dude, former NFL stud, right? Former baller. So I get it, man. And I'm competitive too, man. I think that's the type A in a lot of entrepreneurs. I just get my competitive juices flowing in different ways. I get my competitive juices flowing by others challenging me. Okay. I get my competitive juices by setting the bar high.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Winning Move Podcast. I hope it helps you make all the right moves in your life and business. Please make sure to go like and subscribe on any podcast platform that you're listening to, and make sure to go follow me on Instagram @StratDaddy. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon.